Hello guys and welcome back to the Predicting Mario Kart 9 series. In episode 2, today we are going to talk about items. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so before we jump right into the predictions, let's look at previous Mario Kart titles and previous items and how many were in each title. Starting with Super Mario Kart. Alright, so Super Mario Kart had a total of 8 items, which is pretty good for their first game. There's not much else to say here, so let's just move on to Mario Kart 64. Now, Mario Kart 64 had a total of 14 items, with 8 new and 6 returning. Mario Kart Super Circuit had a total of 11, which was with 0 new and 11 returning. Moving on to Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube had a total of 19 items, 7 new and 12 returning. And moving on, next up we have Mario Kart DS, for the DS, obviously. Moving on, they had 17 items for the Mario Kart DS, with 3 new and 14 returning. Next up is Mario Kart Wii in 2008, a total of 19, again, just like Double Dash, with 3 new and 16 returning. Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7 had a total of 18 items, with 3 new and 15 returning. And finally, with Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe, we're just gonna put Deluxe in there, because all it does is increase the total amount of items. It added 2 items. It added the Boo and the Feather. They're total to 23 items. In the original Wii U version, it was 21, if you don't count Deluxe. Which, with 19 returning and 4 new items. So with this, we can calculate what the average items could be in Mario Kart 9. So if we add up all the totals and divide by 8, it will give us a total of about 16 items, is about the average. But since this game's on a much powerful console than the others, and I think this game's been in development for almost 6 years now, they could jump the bullet and add an extra 15. Why not? Just add 15, which will bring our total up to 31 items. It is a great amount of items. I would love it if they actually had that much in the game. Okay, so actually getting to the predictions, I'm sorry. Alright, so, same thing we did in the characters episode. We're gonna go through items that I think should not return, starting with the should return list. So, the first items that I want to get out of the way, same thing with the characters, is these 6 items that have been in every single Mario Kart game since Super Mario Kart back in 1992, which consists of the banana peel, green shell, red shell, star, lightning, and mushroom. So, the thing about these items are, the most likely they will return in Mario Kart 9. I would honestly be really surprised if they didn't, because they've been in every game prior. Alright, so, since I got those out of the way, let's go with, I have another really good group of likely items that they will bring back most likely, which is going to go with, the triple items, such as the triple bananas, triple mushrooms, triple red shells, and triple green shells. So, the thing about these items as well, triple green shells or red shells will return, most likely. And the same with triple mushrooms. Triple mushrooms will probably also return. But the thing about the triple bananas will return as well. But the main thing I want to talk to you guys about the triple bananas is in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, they're actually worse than they have been in prior games. Because if you know, in DS, Wii, and 7, they would all go behind your cart in a line. However, in Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe, they spin around your cart like the mushrooms and shells do, which isn't really that bad of an idea. But if you're in first place and you want to avoid red shells at all costs, and someone behind you gets a triple red shell, or someone from like 4th place gets one, and somehow smuggles it up to you, if they're far enough behind, you can get triple red shells in 2nd place. So you need those triple bananas to block them. And they're just nice to have as extra obstacles. No, got that out of the way. Let's move on to the gold mushroom. Now, the gold mushroom, if you guys don't also know about this item's been in every game but 2. It was absent from Super Circuit and Super Mario Kart. It's been in 64, Double Dash, DS, Wii, 7, 8, and 8 Deluxe. However, the thing about this item is, in Mario Kart Double Dash, it was really stupid because it was a special item to Toad and Toadette, if you guys remember that. Ever since, it's been a normal item, so you can't really get mad at it. Plus, this item is a great item. You pretty much get infinite speed for almost as long as the star lasts. They're definitely going to bring back the golden mushroom. Next up, we have the Bob-omb. Now, the thing about the Bob-omb is they'll probably bring back the Bob-omb as well. Mainly because the Bob-omb, they've been using this since Double Dash. Well, Double Dash, it was exclusive to Waluigi and Wario. However, since DS, it's been a normal item, and it's been pretty useful. Because you can basically throw it in front of you, it'll cause an explosion if a player if it's set on a 5-second timer or something like that. So, 5 seconds goes off, it blows up. Which has the explosion of a blue shell. And considering you can also throw it behind you too. So the thing is, if someone's behind you, you can throw it behind them, and if they're just an idiot and drive straight into it, they will get blown up. You can blow up 2 or 3 people with that. Yeah, so I think that's really good. The same thing about it is, it can also be used for protection. But the thing is, if you hold it behind your back and a red shell's coming and it hits you when it's still on your back, you will get blown up as well. If you have to drop it at the correct timing, and then you will dodge the red shell. Then you will blow up the red shell and the explosion. Alright, so next up we have the Bullet Bill. Now, the Bullet Bill also is a great item and will most likely be in, because this is a very helpful item to players that are not as good at Mario Kart as is. Because pretty much none of the other items will help you for the players that are like half a lap behind the other racers. But however, if you get a Bullet Bill, you can zoom past those, infinite speed, you can control it. Plus, this is really good for a bunch of new players and less experienced or younger players. So, the Bullet Bill is definitely returning. Next up, we have the Fire Flower and Boomerang Flower. I'm putting these two together because they're both flower items, and they're kind of, I don't know. But, the Fire Flower is also really decent because you throw multiple fireballs and things. But in Mario Kart 7, once you throw too many, the ones that you threw at first disappear. However, in 8 and 8 Deluxe, if you throw the Fire Flowers, they don't disappear. The fireballs don't disappear unless they hit a bunch of walls or time or something. So they're really easy to spam, and you can actually probably hit 1 or 2 people or more, if not, by just spamming the item button. And like if there's a bunch of players in front of you. But as for the Boomerang Flower, they should probably bring this back as well. Mainly because this item was new to 8, so we don't really know if they'll bring it back or not, but they probably will, because if you throw the boomerang, you get to throw it up to 3 times, and it basically comes back at you, and the 3rd time it just flies away, and if like a green shell, if it hits a wall, it's a spirit. I think they'll definitely bring those back as well. Next up, we have this is actually an interesting item, which we are going to go with the fake item box. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, the fake item box is trash. Well, it's actually not, but the thing about this I can't stand is, where did it go? Where did the fake item box go? This was being used in every game, then 7 somehow disappears. 8, okay, maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe they just ran at time issues. Nope, still don't bring it back. Just where the heck did it go? Now, I understand it's worse than bananas green shells. Basically, a green shell and a banana mixed together, and it can't block items. So, it is worse, because basically it just stays on the track. You can easily see if it's a real or a fake item box. And you cannot block items with it. But if you get hit by it, it's almost the same as a shell explosion. Which would make it okay. In my opinion, the banana is still better than the fake item box, mainly because you can block items, and this is terrible for defense. But it was kind of cool to have, and if they put it back in the game the way it was in Mario Kart 64, where it looked completely similar to the regular item boxes, hey, heck, they might do that. Next up, we got the Boo. Now, the Boo will probably return as well. This is another likely one. Basically, it's a really cool concept for an item. This is kind of a risk and reward type deal. 1, you disappear, and in some of the Mario Kart games, you can drive through grass without slowing down or mud, but some games you can't. But basically, you are invulnerable to players cannot see you. They can't hit you. You can even avoid the lightning. You can do a bam shock dodge. You can also literally steal an item from an opposing player. Oh, you say if they don't have items? Well, too bad. In Mario Kart 64 and DS and stuff, you get nothing. However, in 8 Deluxe, they did fix this, so you get a mushroom if no players have items. So, but anyways, the fact that you can avoid lightning already puts us near the top. Next up, this one's kind of controversial. I think a lot of you will disagree with this one. We have the Thundercloud. Now, the Thundercloud is... Oh, by the way, these are just my opinions, so feel free to tell me in the comments below if you agree or disagree. So the Lightning Cloud, so the Thundercloud also. I know this item is kind of trash, and it sucks to get it, but I love the idea of an anti-item. Because the Thundercloud, you really have no other items like this. Because basically, if you get the Thundercloud, it hovers above your head, shock you, and it puts you on a 10-second time limit. And basically, you get a little bit of speed while driving with it. However, the only way to get rid of the item is you have to hit another player. Hitting the other player will add a second to the timer, however, someone's going to get shocked in the end. Which kind of makes it fun. The most entertaining item to watch. Just go around thing. However, the thing is, once the timer does run out, you do shrink. And losing all that regained speed, so... The thing is, if you just get this in last place, you're pretty much screwed. But you can't get in last place because Mario Kart Wii, they balance this. And it was only in Wii, they never brought back since. So that's my main reason behind the Thundercloud. I just think it's a really cool idea of, like, the hot potato effect. Like, you have to, it's an anti-item. It's pretty sweet, to be honest. I have the giant banana and Bowser shell. So the thing I'm putting these items together, too, they're basically, like, big enhanced versions of two other items that are very common. However, these two were both only in Double Dash as special items to Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Giant Banana, and Bowser Jr. had the Bowser shell. But I really think these items are cool. And having these as regular items would also be fantastic. Because the Giant Banana is just the regular banana on steroids. And the Bowser shell is the green shell on steroids. There's a giant shell you just throw across and it goes woo all over you. And the Giant Banana basically, once you throw it behind you, you cannot hold it behind you, but they might make it to where you can do that in the newer games because Mario Kart Double Dash did not offer the feature where you could hold it behind you, simply because there was two characters on one cart. But they could easily fix this in Mario Kart 9, because basically, once you throw the banana, when a racer drives into it, it splits into 3 regular bananas. Also, when you spin out from the banana effect, you also spin out longer. Next up, we have these are some more, another Mario Kart Double Dash exclusive item, this time to Yoshi and Birdo. The Yoshi and/or Birdo egg. Now, this item is basically very similar to the red shell that we discussed before. It locks onto the player following them, but this time, if it hits them, it's the 3 random items split out. It can either be a bomb, mushrooms, bananas, shells, heck, even a star can spawn. But the thing is, the only bad part about this item is, if you're very unlucky and the player you hit with the item can accelerate fast enough and a star spawns right in front of him, he's getting right back at you and probably hitting you, catching him places. But that's why I think this item's fun too, because Mario Kart is a game of frantic action. Like, you never know what's gonna happen next, which is why it's fun. That's why we all play Mario Kart. That's the reason why I like the Thundercloud and the Yoshi egg so much. This one is actually very good as well. This is another Mario Kart Double Dash special item they never brought back. This one to Peach and Daisy. The heart. Now, this is a simple yet clever idea. This item is great. Basically, you get 3 hearts. 2 or 3. I can't remember. Basically, they circle your card. If you get hit or run into an item, you basically get that item to use. Even if it's a special item you can't use. So, let's say someone throws a red shell at you. Your heart comes down. You get to obtain the red shell. Same thing with the Bowser shell. I'm not sure how it fares against lightning, because I've never actually tested that out, but if you got the lightning, that would be OP. So, moving on to the last Double Dash exclusive item on the should return list, which is the Chain Chomp from Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Now, I know what you're thinking. This item is very similar to the Bullet Bill, as we discussed before. It gives you insane speed and cross it on the track, an autopilot. But the thing about the Chain Chomp is so much fun to use, so much more fun to use. So much funner to use than the Bullet Bill. Because basically, you are like driving around the Chain Chomp, it's like running around and Baby Mario, it's like grab its legs like that, it's fun. So yeah, they should have removed. And for the last item on the should return list, this one 100% should return because I know this is. The Super Horn, baby. Now this item is also amazing because it can block the godforsaken blue shell on its own is amazing. but also it has a little force field and a hitbox around it, and if players get hit by it, they get hit. However, it's not as a dramatic explosion, and it's mainly only used for the blue shell, which kind of tones it down a bit, but since it can destroy the blue shell, that's the reason why it's so freaking good. And you can also, if red shells coming, you can also block it, and bananas and shells, stuff like that. So, yeah. Now moving on to the items that shouldn't return. Starting with the banana bunch. This item will probably not return either because it's only been in one title, Mario Kart 64 in 1996. It's basically the same as the triple banana, except you get 5 bananas, which on its own sounds better than the triple banana. And I would agree too. If I developed this game, I would totally ditch the triple banana for the banana bunch. But it would kind of be OP now, and they're probably not going to bring it back because it hasn't been back in like forever. So it's been over 20 years, so they'll probably not bring it back. It's the piranha plants. Now, most of you will probably disagree with this one as well, because mainly this item also is this item is like really funny, and it's not really that useful, but it's cool. It's not really I don't know how to explain this. It's not a bad item, but it also shouldn't really exist. There's no reason for it to exist. Basically, if you have it, you get little speed boosts whenever you tap the button, or if it just does randomly. It can also eat shells, bananas, etc. Heck, you can even eat the blooper. Bet you guys didn't know that. Ha ha ha. Discovered that from experience. So take it out. So anyways, yeah, so the piranha plant's a pretty good item. However, it's not that useful. It doesn't last that long either. If you're a noob like me and just hold down the button and then just... So, we have these next two items are very similar to other items that already exist. So these should not exist. We have the fireball and the mega mushroom. Now, I know a lot of you guys like the mega mushroom, and I totally agree. It's a really fun item. But the thing is, we don't really need it in the game because it's similar to stars. You boost, you get it increased speed increases. You can drive through grass, you can hit players. Except it lasts a bit shorter than the star does, and you can't avoid lightning with it. It's too similar to the star, so I don't think they should bring it back. And as for the fireballs, the fire flower is way more relevant and interesting and better to use, because the fireball basically you just throw in like a bunch of fireballs just go in one direction. They disappear fairly quick, so there's really no reason for them to bring back the fireball. Next up, we have one of the single most worthless items to get. The coin. What were they thinking when adding the coin? They brought this back. This was in Super Mario Kart. It was gone for over 20 years until 22 years after Super Mario Kart in 2014. They bring it back in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. Yeah, they bring it back for Mario Kart 8. But the thing is, this item, you only pretty much get first place. That's where you're trying. How do you avoid from red shells? You cannot attack. You cannot defend. All you do is get increased speed, that whenever you get hit by something, you lose it. It's pretty much useless. This should not be an item. You can already pick up coins on the track. Yeah, it gives you 2 coins, not 1, but still. We have this item is completely worthless in multiplayer mode. The freaking blooper, man. This item is worthless. The blooper does not affect players that get hit by it. They're the victims to it. No one wants the blooper because all it does is if you're playing against computer players, it slows them down. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it makes it slippery. Also, in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, if you drive through water, boom! Guess what happens? It goes away. Plus, it doesn't even decrease your speed in regular play. It's really stupid because you can easily see where it's going. And the thing is, when you get a blooper, all it does is hit the players, everyone in front of you. However, if you have this in first place and you somehow use it, you actually hit yourself. So, that's kind of funny. Next up, we have the Tanuki Leaf. Now, the Tanuki Leaf is I used to like this item, but as time has gone by, kind of started to hate this thing. All it does is for like an extremely long period of time. You have a tail in the back of your cart, and you can whip it around and hit players next to you. Also deflect bananas and shells and other things, but it was probably just in Mario Kart 7 just to promote Super Mario 3D Land, which came out a couple months prior, so I don't know. Now we have the POW block from Mario Kart Wii. This item was also pretty bogus. If you were to get this also in multiplayer mode, it's pretty useless. However, it is a little bit better than the blooper, because instead of this, it's really easy to avoid. All you do is shake the controller or press the D-pad on the GameCube controller. But you drop your item. So that's what makes it a little better, and it hits everyone in front of you. So it's also really annoying. It also shows up almost more in the blooper. I can't stand when the side it shows up. Plus, we haven't really seen the past couple games, and it does not seem likely to return. Next, we have the Lucky 7 and Crazy 8, and the Deluxe Crazy 8. Well, I don't think they'll bring back any of these three items, because basically, the Lucky 7 was only in Mario Kart 7 because of the title of the game. Same thing with the Crazy 8 and the Deluxe Crazy 8. The Crazy 8 and the Deluxe Crazy 8 are literally the exact same item, except the Deluxe Crazy 8 looks different. Deluxe. But basically, in Mario Kart 7, you get 7 items from Lucky 7, which would include the bananas, mushrooms, green shell, red shell, bomb, blooper, and a star. In Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe with the Deluxe Crazy 8 and the Crazy 8, you get the exact same thing with one extra item. A coin! Wow! Yeah, so they're pretty garbage. Plus, with Mario Kart 9, none of these items would make sense to be in Mario Kart 9 because, of course, it's Mario Kart 9, not 8 or 7. Next up, we have the feather. Now, the feather was brought back in 8 Deluxe. However, only used for battle mode. And this item would also be pretty useless as well, considering we can already glide, so this is ridiculous. I have no idea why they brought it back in the first place. Maybe just for battle mode, but whatever. Now for the last item on the shouldn't return list. The freaking blue shell, man! This item is garbage! Now, I know what you're thinking. This item is good for the players in 2nd and 3rd place. And that is it! Nothing else. No one likes being hit by a blue shell. No one likes getting a blue shell. So, for that reason alone, it should not. Because you get this in such a last place, and it doesn't even help you out. It's kind of like the blooper. I say this all the time. It's not an item to help you win. It's to help the players good at the game lose. Like, you're in last place. It's not help to make you win. It doesn't even help you at all. It helps the person in 2nd place, and 3rd, and maybe even 4th. But that's it. The thing is, also, if you get caught in the explosion and you're in 2nd place, you still get hit by it. So that's stupid, and God, the Super Bowl exists. Now, to the segment we all been waiting for, that you guys probably clicked on this video for. The new items. So, let's get started with this. The first 2 items I want to talk about are triple items to items that already exist. So, I'm going with a triple Bowser shell, yeah, you heard me, and a triple Babam. I'm surprised, now for the triple Babam, I'm actually kind of surprised this doesn't exist already, and it'd be very useful. Considering Babams already spin around your cart in Mario Kart 7 if you get a Lucky 7, if you do Babams only. So I think they could bring in some triple items. But the thing about the Bowser shell is this was kind of just a cool pick I just wanted to put in. You get 3 Bowser shells and they circle around your cart, and that'd be pretty sweet to have, so yeah, those should bring that. Now for the first new item, we have a hammer. And this is kind of a weird item. This is kind of like the Snooki tail, I will admit, the Super Leaf. Because this item, basically, if you've played any of the Mario Kart arcade titles, this is kind of it. So basically, if you're near a player, you can possibly hit them with the hammer. You can also, you have up to 3 hits with the hammer, like that, and once your 3rd hit's over, scratch that. You get a certain amount of time, the same time about the gold mushroom lasts, to hit anyone with the hammer. You can also, before the time runs out, you get to see on the item, like, it'll show timer. And once it runs out, or before, you can choose. You could throw the hammer behind you or in front of you. Or in front of you or behind you. Oh, I think that'd be an okay item. Moving on, we have the glider. Now, this one's very interesting. If they actually added the glider as an item, it would make it so this is kind of like the feather too. Basically, you would jump in the air like a feather, getting the same height. This would be extremely situational, just like the mushrooms. So basically, you'd be able to glide. You take the thing and glide around and take little shortcuts over grass patches and trees and stuff. However, they would find a game where out of bounds really easy to hit. You can only go in a certain way, so because this item can easily break the game. We have the Pepsi can. Now, Pepsi can. This item, now this sounds really stupid, I know, but here's my idea with this. This is kind of like a Babam, except it's the Babam and the blooper mixed together. Why not in the blooper as an item? Why not you have the Pepsi can? But the thing about the Pepsi can is you can throw it whenever you want. So if you get the item and instantly throw it, it will have a little explosion. You shake it up by mashing the L button. Or mashing the item button. Well, yeah, by mashing the item button as fast as you can. And then, but however, if you shake it up too much, the Pepsi can, it'll blow up in your face and you'll get spun out. But the more you shake it, when you throw it at the players, the bigger the explosion is. And if anyone gets caught in the explosion, well, this is where the blooper comes in. Their cart becomes slippery and their screen becomes blurry. But not as much as the blue shell, or more than the blooper. Like, their screen actually becomes blurry and you can actually hardly see anything. There would be Pepsi everywhere, so that would be kind of a cool item. You can also throw behind you as well. Now guys, the next up item we have the ice flower. Now the ice flower could probably be added too. This will be a very straightforward item. Basically this will work exactly like the fire flower. If you hit someone, they get frozen. The thing is about this item as well, if they are on the glider and they get frozen, they are instantly grounded. However, if you're gliding and someone above them, the ice, they're still frozen. So if someone's below them gliding, like on some of those tracks, and they get hit over it, the person down will go down with them and they'll both go out of bounds. So that goes for that item. Next up we have this cool item. This is a shell idea. How about a bomb shell? Now I know a lot of these items are including bombs. Basically, it'd be just work exactly like the green shell, except when you hit someone, it blows them up like a bomb would. We could just throw in the triple bomb shell. A bomb shell, I don't know what you call it. But basically, yeah. Basically, you get 3 bombshells, and if someone drives into them, get blown up, or it blows up wherever it gets hit. Next up, we have the cat suit. Now, the thing about the cat suit is, hold on, give me just a sec, please. You turn into a cat, smashing around. You get to, this is basically a giant, this is an OP item, that you get this in kind of like last place. Basically, you become like a mega mushroom, and be able to scratch through people, and run insane speeds, also climb up walls. And drive through the grass. So you become a cat. So basically, once you start off with the item, this item you actually want people to hit you, because you'll start crawling slowly, and then once someone hits you, you get mad and then go berserk and start running everywhere, scratching everything. You could scratch people and climb up walls and stuff. So you actually want people to hit you. So if you see someone with the cat like this, do not hit them. The Super Bell. So, next up, this is another anti-risk and reward item. We have the wand. This one's kind of interesting. So, basically, when you get a wand, you press the item button, you use it, spin it, boom. A random number, 1 through 12, will show up. Item that the place you're not in. So, if you were in 7th place, for example, you could get either 1 through 12, not counting 7. So, whatever number you get, a portal would spawn right in front of you, and you warp to the exact same position as the person in that place. What happens to the person in that place? Well, they get warped to your position. So if you can get this in 12th through 1st place. So in 1st place, if you get this item and you use it, you could possibly be sent to last. But if you're in 12th, you could possibly take this and use it and get to 1st place. So this is a very cool item. Next up we have Flood. Could be interesting too, because the Flood pack from Super Mario Sunshine. What the heck happened to the music? Guys, sorry about the music, our internet's trash. So I don't have any background music, I'm sorry, I apologize. So the Flood pack, basically you would get one of the 4 Flood packs would show on there. So you could use the rocket nozzle, the jet nozzle, whatever it's called, and the squirt nozzle, as well as the hover nozzle. Basically up in your items corner, it would switch between them. And whenever you use the item, that's which one you get. So basically with the squirt item, with the squirt flood, you could basically just squirt people like this and hit them, and they would spin out if you hit them. And if you got the rocket nozzle, you fly right up in the air and then get a glider, so you get the glider boost. And on the other one, this one, you launch at insane speeds with the launch nozzle. Hover nozzle, you fly above people shooting water, and if you flew right above someone, they would spin out. Next up, this is a pretty straightforward item as well. We have the gold shell. So whenever, this will work exactly like a green shell as well. You throw it and basically a trail of coins would show up, so you could just grab them. So the last item on the list, we have the ghost mushroom. Now my idea for this one is basically this is another obstacle item. So basically what you're going to do is you have the mushroom. So when you use it, you get a boost like a regular mushroom, right? Here's the kick. Wherever you boost it, there's purple smoke that comes up in between that area. If a player drives in between it, or drives in it, they will get a boo. It will pop out and surround their cart, swing around and around it. And then whenever the player starts to drift, they'll get spun out. Or if a player gets another item, the boo will grab it from their hands and chuck it right back at them. Like say they got a shell, throws it right back at them. So yeah, this will last for about 10 seconds. What items do you want to see in Mario Kart 9? Comment down below and subscribe. In part 3, we'll talk about tracks. Have a wonderful day. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I see you there are hungry for some more prediction videos. Well, click the link right here to the character video. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell to get notified. See you later.